Trav is doing good, so I'm saving Nelson's diversionary distraction when he should be focusing on how to save lives, even if it's just Mormon lives out in Ukraine. It's about 20 minutes. And if I were to be able to continue into this month and so on, I would be able to do a commentary on it, ripping into shreds, get to the Bruce R. McConkie video that warned of this day and so forth. But man, things are getting bad. And just like I did during the whole asterisk 45 presidency, I paid attention to all sources of news except for Fox. Except when they were recording the rallies, until they stopped doing them with January 6th. But yeah, all these years, guys, and I keep thinking of my second ex, because she left at the beginning in the first year of the latter days. She couldn't handle the information, couldn't believe that the church is the great and abominable church. It was too much for her to handle, let alone that the Christ for Mormons is human, which is weird. Mormons will believe the magical witchcraft, unreal stuff about Joseph Smith and about the coming of Jesus. But when you start talking to them about human beings being involved for fulfillment of prophecy in the latter days, all of a sudden it's, no, that's not true. That's impossible. That's not realistic. What? So, I so frustrating. But some catch-up news this morning that I've seen. I'm surprised, because over the weekend there was a good amount of news, but all of a sudden Monday comes and we got bombshell stuff. I should have checked the stock market. Meant to do that. The news generally said that stock markets all over the world are crashing. Putin's stock market has crashed, and the ruble has crashed today at the close of the stock market. They've frozen his assets, his war chest. And if you're going to do that, he's going to get angry. You won't like him when he's angry. He'll turn green and start puking. Hulk smash. Let's see. Stock market live.
The ongoing military offensive.
No, guys, come on. Just regular stock market. No chat. None of this crap. Just show me the stock market in real time.
Analyzing a takeover of Warner Media.
No.
Decent volume as well.
No!
Just another day high there. No real
YouTube, you suck. I know you have it. Today. Let's turn the volume down so that you won't hear it. And of course YouTube is going slow. Seriously, guys? You're not gonna show it to me, huh? Stock market crash of 2022. Do this now! Suckers and losers! That's not live, that's why. ABC News Live? There isn't. What's going on? Is this going to show it? Thank you. CNBC television. It's down 500 on the New York Stock Exchange. So yeah, it's crashed. It's gone down. We're in 33,000. So yeah, it has a long ways to go for ours to crash. But again, it's not an indicator of the economy. That's separate, as businesses will use their selling of stocks to reinvest in more profiteering stocks to justify punishing us at the stores, specifically at the gas pumps. So America has plenty of oil. Don't you remember the oil spills all over this place? We've got more than enough to spill. But yeah, because we trade with world leaders around world governments, we tend to not rely on our supply. But we shouldn't be using gas and oil anyway. That's a sure way to destroy your country, as many have informed us. So the president of Belarus, he's backed out of his non-nuclear agreement. Yeah, he's going full nuclear now. I wonder why. I wonder if somebody asked him to do that to help him with something coming up for Ash Wednesday, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Jewish Standard Time. So yeah, Russians, they're suffering, as Putin is not. The thing is that Russians have a large number of protesters. You don't think Putin actually wins legitimately for his elections, do you? Nelson's video is now saved. You know, Well, he won in 2012, but blames Mitt Romney and wants revenge. And so, yeah, no, it's sad that Russians are now suffering the cost. Apparently, we have Russian Americans in Russia. The U.S. is now warning to have everybody get out. Oops. Nelson dropped the ball again. He was quick on the draw to pull the missionaries and close the temple in Ukraine. But Russia, what's up with that, Nelson? The Russian missionaries and new mission presidents, as I did that video the other day. Let's find out about Russia. They're back to 23,000 after a year of disappearing. Oh, no, that's not what I want. All right. Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Russia. Okay. Yep, still 23,000. Hasn't grown in Russia. They're not doing their job gathering the whole house of Israel. Because, again, the children's devotional that Nelson and his wife did in 2018 with a sign in the heavens marking that day that I did the videos for. She talked about how while he was getting compromised by Russia, she was with the youth talking to them and asked them which house of Israel they were, and found out all the house of Israel was represented in Russia. So the lost 10 tribes are in Russia, and what Nelson has told us, they're coming to Zion here in Salt Lake Temple Square for the millennium. Put the pieces together, guys. I have. They paid for Russia to attack Ukraine. They paid for nukes. And they're talking about Russians coming to Utah. You see the picture that I see? Are you now interpreting prophecy from the Bible correctly? And from Mormon scripture correctly? Not yet? Okay, well, I still have more videos I'm allowed to do, I guess. The church destroyed me because of the information I'm providing you. And YouTube aided and abetted in that treason. And so I no longer have my main source of income. I still get royalties at the end of the month, but it's not enough to do anything with other than to buy a DVD. So, yeah, I'm surprised I'm still allowed to live here. Sort of have some leverage on the new guy, because the old people who did this to me by orders of the church, they're gone now. They destroyed and left. And so, like Samson, he was captured and tied to the temple pillars, Broussard building, and knocks them down as he dies, along with the Philistines celebrating his capture. And so, yeah, that's what happened here, except that it's more of a reversal. They tried to destroy me, and well, no, it is the same. Nope. So, yeah, I am Samson. Dying 2 years early. The sign of the death is not until 2024, 8 April. Yes, 8 April. And so the Mormons in Russia, they need to leave. Because Article of Faith number 12 has to be taken into context with the Doctrine and Covenants, talking about government. And the church is not supposed to allow governments to enslave the Mormons, to be authoritarian governments and bully other countries, even to war. And so during World War II, the church should have, but didn't, and supported Hitler. Moroni and the swastika. Dear God, and here we go again, now with Putin. And so the United States has ordered Americans, get out of Russia. If there are any of you there, get out. Likewise, Putin should be calling for Russians in Utah and the United States to get out. He's not. He's got something planned. But, yeah, the Americans plus the Mormons, then the missionaries. How many missionaries are there? There's 5 missions in Russia. 1 announced, temple. Let's see. They don't say how many missionaries are there, but there were 5 new mission presidents called in January. Most likely to begin in May. .238 Russia Temple announced. Location, Russia. Announced April Fool's Day 2018. Isn't that hilarious? Wow, what a joke on us, Nelson. You got us. So how do I find... I guess they won't tell us how many missionaries are there. Let's see if we can find it, though. How many missionaries in Russia are there? Oh, yes. 23,000 members. Pleads for peace. The Salt Lake Tribune fell for that. I did the video with the commentary when that came out. And it was a response to me. They responded to me. For that day, I did the videos. And so they responded. Newsroom, statistics and church facts about Russia. So that was a complete waste of time for journalists only. Yeah, there's nothing for journalists. Missions created in Russia, Ukraine. Really? Not the other Eastern European countries? What's going on, guys? What's going on? Church in Russia. Members, Ukraine. Yeah, they're calling them one and the same. What the hell? What the hell? Just indicating when this was written in the newsroom. They're just doing a history thing here, combining Russia and Ukraine together as if they were one, like China and Taiwan. Dear God. Dear God. They've been planning this forever. Dear God. Okay. So it doesn't say numbers. And it can vary. But Orson Hyde and George J. Adams went to Russia on their missions in 1843. Yeah, that was when Brigham Young changed the name of the church for the missionaries going to Europe and Russia, apparently. And changed it to the prophesied name that Joseph Smith gave in section 115, thus fulfilling the prophecy in advance of the prophesied time. When Nelson got up and fulfilled that prophecy. Yay! Who's the sucker and loser? Nelson's the sucker and loser. Yay! Okay. Copying and pasting this for the records. Unbelievable. They combine the two together as if they were one. Oh my God. And who knows when this was? It doesn't say. There's nothing here. It's just an archive thing. It could be as 1991 for all I know. There's no copyright date, no nothing for this. Other than down at the bottom, it's saying copyright 2022 for the website. Dear God. So, yeah, there's no telling. There's the 5 missions, 5 new mission presidents, all at the same time, huh? And they call them mission leaders now. Yeah, we don't want to call them the title that Brigham Young had, with the authority that Brigham Young had, who claims that he then gets to lead the church upon Joseph's death. But yeah, Nelson's keeping silent. He didn't say missionaries. No, the mission presidents. Oh, nope. Come on back. We're reallocating you elsewhere. We're going to wait until this temporarily stops. Do you see what they're doing? They've got this all planned. They know exactly what's happening. All of this is coordinated on the upper level plan for the church to be doing what they're doing, paying for Putin to do this. Yeah, they know the time schedules and all that stuff that's going on. That's what's so evil about this. And so, yeah, that's sad. If you've got a missionary in Russia, oh dear God, beg and plead to get him out. Not through the church leadership, they ain't gonna do it. I don't know about the mission president. You may have to call your kid and tell him to flee. Get as many missionaries to come with them as they can and flee. Do it on a P-Day, do it on whatever, make it any excuse. Flee. Get them to a safe border. Oh dear God. Nelson, what have you done? You son of a beep. I really want to let loose let loose my tongue. I'm dreaming of a wet noodle that is stuck. Finland. Yeah. I have a Swedish follower. Have you been listening to your president? Yeah, Putin's pissed at you guys too. I have been communicating with him outside of YouTube, and let him know in advance when you see war come to your country. And here we go, it's coming. And so yeah, Finland, dear God, is pretty much it. There's the stuff above Belarus. There we go. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, but they're under threat too. Dear God, guys. Dear God. Because if the United States is asking Americans to leave Russia, there are at least two scenarios I can see why. One, Putin's bad. America shouldn't be there. We need to leave. Two, Putin is bad. He'll want to take hostages. So if he finds out that the Americans are in Russia, he's going to want them captured and taken as hostages. Three, Biden has something planned in case Putin drops the bomb on Ukraine. In which case, all three scenarios, the Mormons, especially missionaries and mission presidents, need to get the hell out of Russia now. I mean, it's sad enough to hear about missionaries getting shot at, stabbed, fall to their deaths because Nelson didn't close the church. If you remember that one sister missionary that was on her P-Day hiking in the mountains and fell down the mountain. When, had they followed the medical professionals rather than the living prophet, she would have stayed home and stayed safe. Or come home, as Nelson did temporarily fulfill Heber C. Kimball's prophecy of the latter days of the missionaries coming home. But, see, Nelson is just refusing to fulfill it now. He did it temporarily. That's good enough. Let's move on. We've got things to do to rule the world. So, oh dear God, get your missionaries out. There were 2,000 of us in New York, in the New York mission. I doubt there was that many in Russia. But still, even if there's just one missionary, get them out. I don't know who's there. The families know. You guys may know the families. Get a hold of them. Tell them. Get them out. Dear God, why are they hesitating? This isn't something that Jesus is going to protect them with. So, yeah. Russia's also threatening Canada. They've had planes fly over Canada. Canada says, hey, get out. And Canada's canceling the Russian TV. And so the protests in Canada as well, yeah, Russia's now saying, yeah, you better watch out. You better stop shouting. I'm telling you why. Santa Putin is coming to you. So, yeah, dear God, total chaos, and it's just going to get worse. So here's something else that I think may apply. I've been telling you that I was trying to figure out, I haven't figured out yet, which came first, Edmund's Tucker Act or John Taylor's death. John Taylor is after the Edmunds Tucker Act, so it was while he was in prison. The Edmunds Tucker Act finally became law because Grover Cleveland did not sign it. And so, according to the Constitution, it becomes law after a certain number of days, after the president refuses to sign it. And so on the 3rd of March, 1887, the Edmunds Tucker Act became law and shut down the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, ceasing to exist. Revenge was taken on those who murdered Joseph Smith, as the Mormons instead go after those who appeared in court and were acquitted. See, the Mormons still have to use them as getting away with their crimes, so as to avoid what were Willard Richards and John Taylor doing there, and who shot Hiram after Joseph Smith chased out the mob with his 6-shooter. Yeah, I've done those videos. I know what I'm talking about. And so, yeah, John Taylor died 25th of July, 1887, and yes, in the light, signs in the heavens and the likeness of things on the earth. John Taylor dying as God disapproves, gave us the sign in the heaven of a lunar eclipse. All of them, guys. God disapproves of each and every single president of the Great and Abominable Church, from Brigham to Monson, and we're in the middle of a tetrad. Have to keep reminding Nelson of that. And Oaks, I know you're drooling to get a 12-year-old second wife, but you too, God is displeased. He's not happy with your racism, sexism, and bigotry, and child predatorial nature. Nope, nope, nope. This is it, guys. The countdown. So yeah, the 3rd, the day after Ash Wednesday. So I'm very cautious and paying very close attention to as many news sources as I can, aside from Fox, but they're focused on CPAC anyway. I think they're still focused on Hillary Clinton. But yeah, in the early days, when I was doing videos, when I exposed the church's sex crimes, see, I saw part of John Oliver's show from last night about sex work, and that's what the church ordered YouTube to shut my channel down for. Oh, they were pissed when I exposed this. But the church is involved in sex prostitution, sex slavery, sex trafficking. It's still in the wording of the text in our sealings. Because women, at one point in time, were property. And it's still in Brigham Young's temple ceremony. And so that's why it corresponds to section 132. It's because polygamy also used to be in Brigham Young's temple ceremony. So don't be thinking it was Joseph Smith who was going to murder Emma if she didn't approve of him having multiple wives, which he already should have, because the flaming angel sword was already appearing to him in 1831 or 2, demanding that he practice it immediately, openly, in defiance of the laws of the nation. But yeah, I told you guys, this church is evil. They framed Joseph Smith to justify doing it themselves. His name was had for evil among his own people. So, yeah, the Tucker Act was, they passed it in January, and then March 3rd, it took effect into law, and shut down the church. They locked up John Taylor, who was president of the church, and he died July 25th, because God disapproved of him. And so, as Wilford Woodruff, the asterisk president, told us, let's see, it's official declaration number 1, verse 11, the Lord will never permit me or any other man who stands as president of this church to lead you astray, and failing to pull out the missionaries and the Mormons and the mission presidents from Russia, you think it's God's will? It is not in the program. It is not the will of God, the mind of God here. If I were to attempt that, the Lord would remove me out of my place. Do you not see, Nelson, and the rest of you prophets? You have led the Mormons astray. And we're in the middle of a tetrad, and you think it's okay to continue to lead Mormons astray? Are you sure you want to do that? How many times has the Lord demonstrated He will not let you guys lead them astray, lead us astray? How many? Nelson, you're number 16? Because we can't count Joseph. But you want to count Joseph so that the next one will be 18 for 666. For the women, 1,800 or 180 years. Counting Emma, despite the 20-year difference. That's how Brigham decided, you know what, this polygamy thing is pissing me off. We need the women organization back so that they can stand up against America. 180, 666 with a 0. It's blatantly obvious for anybody who knows of it. So the question is, why don't Mormons? If I were to attempt that, the Lord would remove me out of my place, and so He will any other man who attempts to lead the children of men astray from the oracles of God and from their duty to remove the missionaries from Russia, if not all of the Eastern European countries. Why not do it in advance? We know Putin's going to do it. You paid for it. Why don't you show the Mormons you're a prophet by moving them out early? Oops, not Russia. The United States beat you to it.